Welcome back to the show. The Prime Minister has issued a warning to the Reserve Bank as families struggle to cope with rising interest rates. Anthony Albanese urging the RBA not to overreach while trying to tackle inflation. That's a little bit of a shot across the bow, isn't it? For more, we're joined by Tasmanian Senator Jackie Lambie. Jackie! How you going?
Oh, what's going on, mate? Huge.
I'll come to you in a sec. Also, in the house, 2GB in Sydney, Chris Smith. Good morning to you, Chris. Nice to see you.
Looking good. Jackie's looking great.
She always looks great. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. I always look great, mate. Come on. It's all that lighting you've got in here. It's wonderful stuff, you know.
It's good to see you out of Tassie. Amazing.
I know. It's nice to be out of there.
It's rare. OK, let's get on with it. The RBA is supposed to make independent decisions, right? But they are under the pump right now, and they're going to be made more accountable. A good thing, Jackie?
Look, mate, we warned them about this a couple of years ago with those home loans for our kids, all right? We had a double dip in Tasmania because the state government gave them the 25,000 as well. And we said, when the RBA said these interest rates won't go up until 2024, we're going to have some real problems here. So those kids were the last ones in to get those loans and they're going to be the first ones out of the housing market. We're going to break them by the time they're 30. That's where we're going right now. So, and this was supported by Labor and Liberal to do this and to give those home loans out. I knew this was going to be an issue and I've been talking about it for 2 years and here it goes. OK, the RBA itself, Chris, couldn't have got things more wrong. And that's going to make a huge difference to people and not in a good way.
True. Phil Lowe, in footy parlance, has lost the dressing room. He's lost the support of the Treasurer. He's lost the support of the Prime Minister. He's lost the support of most economists in Australia, Phil Lowe. He needs to go back to the Bank of Switzerland where he came from, because not only has he got monetary policy wrong, he's also got the idea of keeping interest rates low for too long, which is why he's going to have to crank them up. They've got no faith in him anymore.
He said he had to urge on the side of Conservative.
Stop it. At the time, he was the one as the central bank who has to remain very conservative about what he says and what he does. If the government wants to do what they do, which is prop up the economy as they did, that's fine. But the central bank has to take a far more responsible position. They got it out of control.
Jackie, how would you rate how the Reserve Bank did things?
Yeah, I think he's probably done his time and it's time for a changeover. And even going through with those kids, economists were telling me this is not good and those interest rates will rise before 2024 and it will knock these kids out of the market, make them bankrupt. So I don't know. They're obviously, I think Parliament needs to start listening to other people on the outside and not just proverbial pickups that we decide are going to have those jobs. They need to be extending it out further. OK, time to go, say both of you. Well, Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has been forced to apologise for his party's, quote, disgraceful behaviour and rotten culture. The parliamentary watchdog exposing the misuse of taxpayer funds by former ministers. Jackie, my question to you this morning, if a CEO of a company found themselves on the front pages of all the major newspapers after findings like this, they'd be forced to stand down. They wouldn't be there, right? Yeah, they would be forced to stand down. There's no doubt about that. And the sad thing is with the Victorian Labor Party right now, many of those people, those parliamentarians that were selected, were not done on a fair basis. So they're sitting in there and shouldn't be in there. So I guess we're going to see what happens in November. The sad point is, I guess, when it comes to Victoria, is you do not have a strong opposition party and therefore you'll probably keep your places. But seriously, this is disgusting. And I want to say this to you. When you do this shit, it makes the rest of us look really bad and it brings distrust in the Australian community. And you are disgraceful. You seriously are disgraceful. And you should be bloody locked away.
All right, Chris, this is not just Victoria, unfortunately, either.
No.
This is New South Wales. Queensland also had their issues. New South Wales yesterday. I mean, it was one after the other.
I went to work yesterday. I don't think in any single day in my career I've ever reported on as much misconduct in the same day.
Right.
Branch stacking to the max, no one punished. As Jackie says, that is just wrong. Secondly, we've got John Barilaro, the former Deputy Premier in New South Wales, being exposed by his Chief of Staff as having organised this job for himself in New York. He denies that, of course. Then we had John Sidoti, Liberal MP for Drummoyne in Sydney. He went down the gurgler. ICAC said he was corrupt. And then don't forget, earlier this week, we've had Joe Tripodi, Kelly and also Obeid in trouble again because they're going to trial on misconduct charges. Like, no wonder people are gravitating towards the independents.
Yeah, I agree. And look, for the last couple of years, it's been tough on Australian families. Everyone's done the right thing, ostensibly. And you see this kind of behaviour. I want to finish on this one. We're running out of time. A new mum is outraged over the choice of words on a government form asking her to sign off as a birthing parent instead of a mother. She took to Twitter saying enough is enough, describing it as exclusionary, alienating and derogatory. Jackie, one question to you this morning. Have you ever seen a dude have a baby?
No, mate, and I'm not some birthing vessel. I'm actually a mother, so I would like to be quoted as being a goddamn mother. That's my right, and that's who I am.
Smithy?
Terrible. You know, it's OK for the politically correct to start to change rules so that the minorities aren't offended. I don't think they're genuinely offended, most of them anyway. But then all of a sudden, the vast majority turn around and say, sorry, you've actually offended me. Yeah. It is genuine. Back off. I'm a mother. I was a mother. I always will be a mother.
I agree. I don't know what's going on. We've got that lady on, by the way. She's coming up on the show after 7 o'clock. So lots of reaction to that story. Jackie, are you all right? I mean, I want to know if both of you, there's a lot going on in the world, especially in your life, Smithy. But Jackie, are you both OK? Jackie, you're first up.
Oh, mate, you know, as long as I get to see your smiling face every morning when I wake up, Karl, it makes my whole day, sweetheart. I've got to be honest with you. Beautiful. And I have your brother next, mate. I have, you know, the ultimate prize. So
all
in about
downhill
half
for
an
you
hour.
then.
Run some Ronan Keating music behind this, will you? Like, this is just pathetic.
All right, say hello to Pedro for me. Thank you very much. Great to see you guys.